Hey everyone, this is Kala Hale-Benz from Destination Thrills, and today we are going to discuss a very underrated coaster model, and that is the Hyper GTX coaster from Chance Rides. We will also discuss which parks might add this model to the current lineup of coasters. The Hyper GTX model has the nickname of the Mini Hyper, and that is because this steel coaster model is not an actual hyper coaster. A hypercoaster is a ride that has a height of 200 feet or taller, and the Hyper GTX only reaches around 100 feet tall. But this coaster was designed to give you the same forces and thrills of your generic hypercoaster, but with a compact footprint. Because of the small footprint, these coasters are also low cost compared to other roller coaster models out there, making it a perfect addition for small theme parks looking to provide extreme thrills. Currently, there is only one of these coaster models operating in the world, and that is Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom. I have been fortunate enough to ride Lightning Run, and let me just say, this coaster is phenomenal. The sharp turns and strong ejector airtime create a wild and out of control roller coaster experience. After my first ride, I thought to myself, why aren't there more of these coasters out there? Lightning Run seems to be a crowd pleaser, as this ride had the longest line of any ride in the park during both my visits in 2017 and 2019. So why haven't we seen another park add one of these? One of the reasons that many have alluded to is that in this day and age of roller coasters, parks are looking to add that est factor. They want to have the record for either tallest, fastest, or longest of its kind or in its area. This makes it easy for parks to market this coaster and draw attention from media outlets. These media outlets tend to gravitate to rides that are the tallest, fastest, and longest of its kind. Take Yukon Striker for example. With all of the roller coasters opening in 2019, this ride seemed to grab the most attention. That is because Canada's Wonderland was able to say that they were building the world's tallest dive coaster. So your big chain theme parks have a strategy of adding rides that have that est factor with it. So a Chance Hyper GTX doesn't really allow for many of those opportunities because it's only 100 feet tall, and the max speed on Lightning Run is 55 miles per hour, which is far from breaking any records. So the odds of a Cedar Point or a Magic Mountain adding one of these are very slim. So what kind of parks could we see add this coaster model in the future? Well, we have to look at smaller parks or theme parks that don't have any major large coasters in the general area, or even in its own lineup. One chain of parks that immediately came to my mind was Fun Spot. These are smaller parks located in the Atlanta and Orlando metro areas. These parks are free to get into, but you do have to pay per ride. The Fun Spot parks in the Orlando area typically stay open late to catch the rush of those leaving the major theme parks in the area, such as Disney and Universal. A Chance Hyper would be a perfect fit for Fun Spot Orlando, which currently has a wooden coaster and two family steel coasters. This would bring diversity to the lineup for a reasonable cost. I also think the Fun Spot Park in Atlanta would benefit from this type of ride because they need that modern thrill coaster. But I am unsure how much investing Fun Spot is looking to add in this park. Now, another theme park that came to my mind was Frontier City in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This park was recently acquired by Six Flags and is the largest theme park in the state of Oklahoma. Currently, their tallest roller coaster is Silver Bullet, which has a height of 80 feet. So marketing could really have a heyday with an addition of a Chance Hyper. They could easily take claim to the tallest, fastest, and maybe even longest roller coaster in the state. Now, one argument to this is that if Six Flags were to go down this route, why wouldn't they just add a Rocky Mountain Construction single rail coaster? Now, this does make sense because Six Flags is already working with Rocky Mountain Construction, and we have seen them add these single rail coasters to two of their parks now. But I think the Chance Hyper GTX model will be a more unique addition and have better capacity for the park. Finally, I think a park that would really benefit from this type of coaster is SeaWorld San Diego. The park is already cramped on space, so this would be a great cost and space friendly option for them. Now, they are adding a B&M dive coaster in 2020, so this probably wouldn't be something that would happen in the next 2 years, but I think a coaster like this would be a real crowd pleaser for thrill seekers in the Southern California area. And if they do the layout right, they could try to go for the most airtime on a roller coaster in California, which would be great for marketing purposes. So these are the main 3 parks that I think could get a Chance Hyper model. Some of the honorable mentions would be Magic Springs in Arkansas, Mount Olympus up in Wisconsin, Oaks Amusement Park in Oregon, and Waldameer Theme Park in Pennsylvania. These are all small parks that would receive a lot of attention if a Chance Hyper was installed. Finally, I would absolutely love for one of these Chance Hypers to come to my home park, Six Flags St. Louis, but let's be honest, we will be lucky if we even get a 4D free spin in the next 5 years, so I wouldn't hold my breath for one of these Chance Hypers to come to the St. Louis area. So, who do you think will build the next Chance Hyper GTX? Or is this model going to remain a one-hit wonder? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, if you like this video, give it a like, and subscribe to Destination Thrills, the destination for all the latest theme park news and content. I'm Cullah Hale. Have a good one.